Hey everybody, it's Dan Sfera, www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Once again, that website address for you is www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Really important post here today. We're going to talk about clinical trials. Obviously, that's what we do every day. But sometimes we lose sight of the fact that, yes, clinical trials are not treatments. They're not supposed to be treatments. They're supposed to provide data to help future sufferers of various medical conditions. But oftentimes what gets lost in that is the fact that clinical trials do benefit many people who actually participate in the studies. We often lose sight of the fact that people often get free medical procedures, free treatments that they otherwise couldn't afford. As a perfect example, I just interviewed someone who enrolled in a clinical trial for a pain medication. But because of that, she was able to get a free hysterectomy. So in other words, she had this hysterectomy, she had the need for a hysterectomy, but she couldn't afford it, her insurance wouldn't cover it. And she just happened to be driving one day and heard an ad for a clinical trial that said they would pay for the hysterectomy, and then they would have a clinical trial afterwards for a pain medication. So you can't tell me that, this person didn't benefit from that. And of course, future people who may suffer from pain also benefit from that. So it's a win-win. The study participant got what she wanted, and future sufferers of pain, it's very broad, but future people who may have pain do benefit. Whether or not that drug gets approved, scientists get one step closer to finding something better and better for the treatment of pain. And then there's tons of stories like this that you really don't get a lot of coverage. And it's important to understand that. And when we were interviewing the Gateway for Cancer Research CEO, she's very adamant. And for those of you who want to watch that video, just do a search on our blog for Gateway for Cancer Research interview. And you'll see that enlightening interview we had with that organization's CEO. And she's very adamant about the fact that, clinical trials are not supposed to benefit study participants, or at least they're not advertised. They're not allowed to advertise that they will benefit study participants because that cannot be proven. But that doesn't mean that never happens. It happens a lot, and it happens often enough to where I think this is an important topic for us to discuss. So this video is just kind of an introduction to this topic, and we're going to interview a lot more guest gurus and people who have benefited from clinical trials. And you can see on our blog, we've already interviewed tons of people who have benefited from joining clinical trials. We've had people who have beaten cancer because of clinical trials. We've had lives saved. Literally, we've had lives saved. We've had people who've had free hysterectomies, people who've gotten other free medical procedures that their insurance companies otherwise would not provide. And we've also had people who enrolled in clinical trials for one thing, and then because of the excellent medical attention that clinical trials provide, they found out that they actually had another medical condition that they otherwise would not have ever known about. So they were able to get that taken care of. So clinical trials do offer tremendous benefit, not only for future sufferers of whatever conditions the clinical trials is attempting to treat, but from the trial participants themselves. And we're going to talk a lot more about this later on, but just wanted to kind of, introduce this topic to you because it's often overlooked. And there are many positive things that come out of clinical trials for the trial participants themselves. So hopefully this helps. Let me know what your thoughts are, and maybe you've benefited from a clinical trial. www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com